posted directly to you, episode 15. This is the 15th entry in the weekly podcast here on youtube.com/fanatixfour, soundcloud.com/fanatixfour. So on Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and not Spotify because reasons. This week we have a special guest joining us, Izzy.
Hey! How's it going, guys?
Hi.
Hello. Yeah, so we've been just talking prior to recording, guys, and some pretty light topics here, but this week we're starting off with a heavy topic here. It's quite the boulder. It's a hard one. What is the best Nintendo game of all time?
That's a hard one. That's a hard one.
Right, exactly.
Like that goes to show, that's a testament of how many games these guys have put out throughout the years. I'd be hard pressed. Yeah, I'd be hard pressed to even come up with like a top 5. I still have to like give it some thought, right? Like
exactly.
you can
so
come up.
This is how we're going to do this. So March just passed and everything, and everybody's making all these brackets and stuff like that. So Roger's Base, you guys familiar with Roger's Base? He's a Nintendo YouTuber. Well, he's a Nintendo YouTuber.
Okay.
And he made this bracket of Nintendo franchises, and I'm going to send this to you guys. And that's how we're going to go about deciding this.
I was going to say, because just picking one out of random is
just pulling out a hat is like,
right.
Nah, but
it's too much content there, and it's just like.
So if you guys want to play along, go to Roger's Base Twitter, at Roger's Base, and he has the bracket up on there. I think that's a good starting point.
This is good. I like this.
All right, so you guys want to we want to go by like head down from left to right.
Let me.
So like we start on the left side, go all the way down that, and then go to
sure.
right.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah, okay, that work.
All right, so first bracket is Super Mario 64 versus Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
This is a battle. This is a battle here.
That's an interesting choice you went with there. I would have imagined that he would have put Super Mario. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. 64 versus Ocarina of Time.
Okay, so here's my thing. I think Link to the Past is the easy win for this.
You think?
Because Link to the Past still holds up for what it is now. Super Mario 64, there's like a better version of what Mario 64 was trying to be then now. So like if I were given the option now of like, do you want to play Mario 64 or Mario Odyssey? I would pick Mario Odyssey. But like,
when you
Breath
say
of the Wild
that
versus...
at the same time, like something like Zelda Link to the Past, we do have, and I don't want to, like, I know it's going to, like...
The Link Between Worlds.
I didn't want to start out with the 3DS stuff, but I have to mention that in the same vein... but it's true.
Fair.
In the same vein of your argument...
I do think that there's less games that nail what Link to the Past nails than there are better than what Link to the Past does anyway. Then there are games that nail what Mario 64 is trying to be.
That's a tricky one for me, right? Because Mario 64 was really a groundbreaking title in that transition from 2D to 3D. So I agree with you. I agree with you. It aged poorly, yes. And there are even without going to Odyssey, even if you just pick up like Mario 64 on the DS, it's already pretty. It looks much better than it did on the 64. So I get what you're saying. But this is a really hard one for me. I'm gonna put the edge to Mario 64 only because it was such a groundbreaking title.
Right. In terms of importance, as far as like impact and all that, there's no comparison here.
Yeah, I mean, well, anyway,
I'll put it to you this way. Okay, Zelda Link to the Past. I keep thinking Twilight Princess for some silly reason, but it was basically a top-down action RPG adventure kind of game. I had seen things like that before, but when somebody described Mario 64 to me, having never played a 3D game in my life before, I literally could not understand what they were saying. When they said, like, they're trying to explain to me, oh, it's three-dimensional, and I'm like, I literally don't know what that means. He's like, instead of just going one way on the other, you can go towards the camera or away from the camera, like into the bushes, where like he was trying to like use a metaphor, like use Super Mario World as a metaphor, right? So he's like, you know how you can go forward or backward in this game, you can go like into the wall. So like it's if you were to go behind like the stuff that you see, and I'm like, how's that even possible? Like I literally couldn't understand it. So it was truly mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, these things are hard because it's like a lot of people. I was talking about this because of their Wolf Den Live that they did. Like how people decide these are kind of weird to me. Where it's like we gotta pick which way we want to go here, because if we're talking about best game, Link to the Past wins this. If we're talking about more influential game, which I feel is a different thing, Mario 64 probably would get that.
Right.
But it's more like, what are we talking about here? I came into this thinking we're talking about best game.
Fair enough. It's going to be hard, right?
Yeah,
it's very subjective. There's a lot of and that's where the debate is going to be interesting, right? Because we're going to have to come up with interesting justifications. And
that's why it's a good thing that we have 3 people.
Yes,
because at the end of the day,
there's going to be a
tiebreaker.
Exactly.
So final bets on this one. So we don't So this isn't a 5-year long.
Yeah, right.
You're still going Mario 64.
I have to go. They're both phenomenal games. Don't get me wrong. A Link to the Past is a truly timeless title. But I'm going to give the edge to 64 only because of how groundbreaking it was in transitioning all of us into the third dimension. So that's why it gets the slight edge in my book.
Yeah, it kind of just set the standard for not only Mario but games in that space in general, for 3D in general. So I have to as well go with 64.
Okay. There we go. So Mario 64 wins that one.
Now I'll have to say there's quite a few games in this list that I haven't played, so you guys are gonna have to duke it out. I won't be able to say much.
I think the problem. Have you played Link to the Past, Logan?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's move on to the next one. So Star Fox 64 versus Fire Emblem Awakening.
64 versus Fire Emblem Awakening.
Got my answer. Go ahead. You guys can.
This is a hard one because I'm not while I love tactical strategy games and it's a 3DS title, I lean heavily on that. However, when it comes to that space, that tactical strategy game, I am a bigger fan of Advanced Wars than I've ever been of Fire Emblem. So I truly want to love Fire Emblem. I have the games, but the fantasy theme, I have a hard time getting into. So I think, although at the same time, Fire Emblem has much more replay value, right? Despite not being my favorite game personally. Personally, for myself, I enjoy Mario 64 more than I do Awakening. But
you mean Star Fox?
Oh, sorry, Star Fox. Yeah, that's what I thought it was weird because you said Mario 64 at first, and I was like, yeah, you did.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty certain. Okay, well, between 64 and Fire Emblem, I'm gonna have to go with Fire Emblem.
Okay. I'm going Fire Emblem. I love Star Fox as a franchise. I think the rail shooter genre is less interesting for
it is
Star
right
Fox.
It is it's an arcade thing. It's not really it doesn't carry itself. I mean it dominated on the home console on Star Fox 64, but it's not the kind of genre that really sells these days. It's really a throwback. It's like an arcade throwback.
See, and that's where my sensibilities lie, like I said, for this, where it's I'm more so thinking, would I want to play this today? You know, and Star Fox 64, one of my favorite games in that era, right? When I was playing that then. But now, that game's 45 minutes long. It's fine,
it's really not these two, as far as going against each other, this comparison, Fire Emblem gets this edge just because there's a lot more content there. There's a lot more content. It's a lot like you said, it has more replay value because of that. And yes, Star Fox 64. While I love Star Fox, but it just you can't keep going back and playing. It's okay, I did this before. There's not much to do. So
I agree completely. Star Fox 64 is the kind of game that it's a greater. Let me try that again. It's the kind of game that it was great at what it was trying to do. And it definitely had its space, but it's not the kind of game that you need to go back to. It's just okay, I played it, I get it, I'm done with it. Whereas Fire Emblem,
kind of like the 3DS. Moving on. the next matchup is Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild versus Mario Sunshine.
That's an easy one.
It's Mario Sunshine.
That's an easy one.
Breath of the Wild.
So easy. Mario Sunshine.
That's not even. That's unfair. That's just unfair.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, some of these brackets here, I'm like, what? What is this? Yeah, Breath of the Wild has that 10
I
times
think this is another easy one. Kirby Superstar versus Metroid Prime.
Hands down.
Metroid Prime.
Hands down.
Prime. Yes.
And I like Kirby, but come on.
Continue what were you saying?
I said I like Kirby, but it's Metroid Prime, right? That was such. Metroid Prime did for Metroid what Symphony of the Night did for Castlevania. It was that big a revolution, and it's just such a groundbreaking title. We're about to see a new Metroid game for the Switch coming up in the next couple of months. Maybe it's coming out in 2018, right? Prime 4?
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't
Well,
know, right? Well, fingers
well,
crossed.
allegedly, you know,
within, let's say
right, but
within
you
the
don't know.
next 12 months, probably. That's not too
Yeah,
optimistic.
probably,
We're gonna see a new one. It's
Right,
gonna be a
right,
great
yeah.
return to form to the series. So
Right,
yeah, sorry
yeah.
Kirby, but come on, it's that one.
Yeah, no.
that one doesn't work.
I think
Yeah, 'cause, like,
it's
'cause-
along the same lines of like what I was saying about Mario 64, where it's like Kirby hasn't really changed that much, and
It
in
really
the sense where
hasn't.
it's
It
like,
truly hasn't.
Yeah.
So like the next Kirby game, and along the lines of this is kind of like I'd rather play that, you know. And I mean, really, there's no Kirby game that's like I'd rather play that than Metroid Prime. Metroid Prime is just a lot more like ambitious, and
Right.
there's more to it than Kirby. Kirby's good. I like Kirby, but
It's great, but like you
Metroid
said,
Prime's
like
better.
if you play Kirby on the Switch and then you play it on the Game Boy, the very first game,
What has changed? Yeah,
it's
like,
it's
that's not
still
much-
basically the same gameplay, right? Like,
Right,
So
right.
I mean, don't fix what's not broken, but at the same time, you play one Kirby game, you basically have seen them all.
Yeah, which
There's-
is
there's
why
a-
you gotta balance that. You gotta
There's a
balance
line. There's a line between people like, oh, we gotta keep this thing. We gotta keep the integrity and keep the the values of what it is. That needs to be like that's true. That's that's true. You don't want to I want Smash Bros to become a freaking 3D like all
Like a
around
battle
type
royale
Naruto.
game.
Right. But still there need to be changes and there need to be like improvements upon that. But that's another topic for another podcast.
I just feel like play
So
Kirby.
Pokemon Red and Blue versus Paper Mario.
Sorry, White and Blue versus Paper Mario, right? Which Paper Mario? I can't see the image.
Yeah, Paper
Red
Mario
and
what?
Blue versus Paper Mario. Is this the
Subtitle.
1,000-Year Door?
Okay, so Red and Blue versus is it correct? Am I hearing this right? Like the original Game Boy Pokemon?
Yeah. Versus Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door.
That's an interesting matchup.
Yeah.
That's really hard to compare directly, right? Like I didn't play much Paper Mario.
See, this is blasphemous for me, but I'm gonna have to say Paper Mario.
Really? I didn't
Yes.
expect that
Prove
from
a
you.
po- How dare
I didn't
you?
expect
Because-
that from you.
Yeah, from the
Yeah, I know,
Pokemon
right.
guy. Yeah.
Right,
But
exactly.
just because Pokemon Red and Blue, like they're the whole thing of like they're important and influential and all that other good stuff, but they're not really good games. Like in the grand scheme of things,
I hate to admit it, but he's right. It's poorly balanced. There's a
Gen
lot
2,
of game-breaking
yeah.
bugs. It's slow as hell. Like if you play
Right.
Pokemon now, like if you emulate, right? Like I have it on my 3DS, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're going to,
He throws that in there so bad. I love it. I love it.
It's
That's
going to
great.
be.
I'm
I'm
gonna be
telling
like
you,
this-
every
this whole
time me and
podcast.
Izzy talk at all. Anytime me and Izzy interact, that's what it is. It's like it could be about whatever. We could be talking about taxes,
anything.
and then it's
Maybe
like, but
something
3DS
else,
though.
But that 3DS though.
Yeah, exactly.
And, but
That's
you're
funny.
absolutely right. Like that game did not age very well. And I don't mean graphics. Graphics are fine, for what they
Yeah,
were.
that's-
It's the fact that it's so slow paced and the environment is so. The environment is okay, but like the menus are kind of ugly. Like there are many other games on the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, that their art direction did way better. Like compare the original compare the original Pokemon titles to say Super Mario Land 2, right? Like the difference in art direction and the menus, the way it's night and day, right? So it
right.
aged very poorly. So to me, I'm a huge. I have a Pokemon tattoo. I'm not sure if you can see here. I've showed it in videos before. So to me, it's blasphemous to say this as well, even though I'm not as big
Yeah.
a fan as AJ.
It hurts me a little bit.
But I'm gonna
It
have
hurts
to
me a
say
little
Paper
bit.
Mario is a better all-around game. 1,000-Year Door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just gotta
agree.
be real. I gotta, you know what? I
Gotta
be
keep it
honest
real.
with
Gotta
the
keep it
people.
real, right?
I can't be saying blasphemous things without a cause.
No, I would totally go back to 1,000-Year Door before I go back to Red and Blue. I'm
Yeah.
just,
I mean, if I'm going back to Gen 1, I'm playing. Well, I think the game's on this
Which,
list. So spoiler.
by the way, since we're talking about this, let me quickly throw this in here. AJ, are you a Gen 1er?
no,
You're not?
no,
Okay, good.
not even a little.
Not
bit.
even a little bit.
I
Wait, how old
Yeah,
are you?
no.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay, that explains it. I'm an old man, so I'm a bit of a Gen 1er.
Yeah,
And I get flack for
I
it constantly.
I kind of like. I mean, I grew up with it. Like I started with Gen 1, but I've always embraced the next thing. I would say that I like some older gens better than some newer gens, and I think that there's highs and lows, peaks and valleys. It hasn't really like definitively peaked for me in terms of like generations. I think there is a best Pokemon game that's not the newest one, but we'll get to that. So the next matchup, the original Legend of Zelda versus Super Mario Galaxy.
Super
Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say Galaxy too.
This is some of these are really interesting because like Galaxy was everything that Sunshine could have been but wasn't. But at the same time, the original Legend of Zelda was a groundbreaking game, right? Like back on the original NES. Yeah. So it has so much merit to like, and it's such a the power, the staying power of the franchise. Like it was such an amazing title back in the 80s, and then now the best game out there that you can play is a Legend of Zelda title, right? So like that's really impressive. But
yeah, everything came like full circle in that sense.
Yeah.
So, but no, I have to say Galaxy is an overall like it's more. Let me put it this way: the tiebreaker between these two amazing titles is what game would I like to play right now? Sit down and play today. It's Galaxy, 10 times out of 10, bar none.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So next matchup, GoldenEye 007 on the N64 versus Super Smash Brothers for Wii U.
I'm gonna say
GoldenEye was a great. No, I'm sorry. GoldenEye was a great game. It was just like I remember vividly.
It was
playing.
a great game.
Right, it was.
It's trash now.
Yeah,
Smash Brothers wins this.
Right, Smash Brothers Wii U, 100%.
I wouldn't even think. You know, I would fight somebody if they asked me if I wanted to play GoldenEye right now.
It's a game that did not. It's the kind of game. There's a lot of games in this list that were amazing back in the day.
Right.
But if you go to play them today, there's a lot of like gameplay wise, game design wise that changed in a way that made the game almost unplayable today. Despite that, I will have to say GoldenEye only because I was.
You're crazy.
I know.
Wow.
I admit.
Really?
It's a good thing your vote doesn't count this round.
Let me say. I admit that I'm in the minority. Okay, I admit, but I'll explain why. I'll explain my rationale.
All right.
I was never a big Smash Brothers fan. That's why.
Why did I have him on this podcast?
Why is he on this podcast right now? No, I'm joking.
The best. You looked in pain. You looked up like,
Jeez. Is GoldenEye coming to the 3DS? Because he's
no.
No. Look. I own up. This is not a popular opinion. I know that I'm going to be the only one here. But let me say, because I never had that group of friends to play Smash Brothers. Whenever I hear people talk about Smash Brothers, like people playing in college with their group of friends, in my social circle, we didn't have Smash Brothers. Like it was never.
You need better friends.
I guess I do.
Your friends are a bad influence on you.
Yeah, they're terrible.
I guess they are. Yeah, but so for this one, I'm gonna go with the wildly.
For this
unpopular.
one, you're gonna be wrong.
I'm gonna be wrong.
Moving on. The 2 versus Animal Crossing New Leaf.
I feel as though that decision alone will make this whole entire podcast go viral. Like somebody pick GoldenEye.
I know. Yeah. Who is this?
I'm titling it that GoldenEye better than Super Smash Bros. For Wii U.
Yeah, use that as the super clickbaity thumbnail.
Yeah,
like my face looking like an idiot, like picking that one.
Yeah, so Splatoon 2 versus Animal Crossing. I'm gonna let you guys take this. I don't have.
This is blasphemous considering our new boost in subscribers.
Right. I don't really have a.
But
I haven't played Animal Crossing.
You know what I'm gonna pick, AJ? You know it.
You're probably going to pick Animal Crossing, but I'm gonna say Splatoon 2. I think Splatoon 2 is the better game.
My vote again is very biased. It's very because I believe it or not, and it's embarrassing to admit this, I never played Splatoon or Splatoon 2.
This is nonsense.
Wow.
I decided.
I said from the get-go.
This is my bracket
because
Logan never played Splatoon and you never played Animal Crossing.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I'm the only one that played both.
Animal Crossing.
So we're moving on.
Look, Animal Crossing. Fair. First of all, it has a lot of things going for it. Okay, first of all, it's on 3DS. Yeah. Second of all,
oh my god! I retract everything I just said. That makes Animal Crossing the worst game of all time.
Listen. Izzy is the greatest. He actually brought that up like as an actual point to that game's credit.
I'm telling you, I'm like, this is the whole idea. I got invited to come here just to subvert this to 3DS love. Okay, look, Animal Crossing is a great title. It's great for pick up and play and just play for a few minutes, and it's great to put a whole afternoon into this thing. It has unlimited replay value. It has a very fun online mode, which I know also is present on Splatoon 2. But personally, just because I didn't play the game, I've seen videos. It looks a lot of fun. I just haven't felt the need to pick up myself for.
You're a crazy person. Animal Crossing is great. I agree with everything that you just said. But with that being said, Splatoon 2 is better.
Yes, Splatoon 2 has to take it.
You know what?
Just
every time I go to my dad's house, he has kids from his second marriage. They're young kids, 10-year-old. And every time I come here, I go there, I bring my Switch, and they always ask me, did you buy Splatoon 2 yet? And I say, I forget. You know what? I'll get it. After this podcast, I'll go to Walmart here and go get it. Maybe it's about time.
And then I'll run you through a boot camp, and then you'll be good at the game, rather than Bob, because Bob is terrible at this. Moving on. So from the first,
next bracket over the next section.
next round in this bracket, I guess. So Super Mario 64 versus Fire Emblem. Super Mario 64.
Ooh, this is Super Mario 64. I'm gonna say.
So Super Mario 64 won.
Yeah, Super Mario 64. Yeah.
Okay. Breath of the Wild versus Metroid Prime.
Breath of the Wild. Not even a moment's hesitation.
Yeah, no. Paper Mario, A Thousand Year Door versus Super Mario Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Galaxy, definitely.
Okay. Smash Brothers versus Splatoon 2. Smash Brothers.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of either one of them. What do I say?
You say that you're wrong and you just sit in the corner.
I guess I am.
Okay, moving to the other side now. Oh wait, no. What am I talking about?
What is it? Super Mario 64 versus
Super Mario 64 versus Breath of the
Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Yeah.
I hate to diss Super Mario 64 because it feels that way, but it's Breath of the Wild, dude. Like, what are you gonna do?
Okay, what was the next one?
Mario Galaxy versus Smash Brothers.
Okay, Smash Brothers.
That's Galaxy for me.
You lost.
Maybe I should really. There's a few gaps in my gaming history, so I guess I have to only recently I did a video about this yesterday. Only recently that I started playing Symphony of the Night, which is one of my favorite games of all time. And that game is 1,000 years old by now. So,
hey, I think you have some pull here on this side because a lot of these Logan did not even play. I'm positive.
Let's see.
Wait, on the right side?
Oh, on the side that we're moving to next.
All right, I'm excited.
So
Let's do it.
the winner of this is what? Breath of the Wild. That's the whole thing for this.
Pretty much.
This side.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Breath of the Wild. Moving on to the next round.
I'm excited for this.
Super Mario World versus Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of
That's
Time.
a really hard one. Because I love Super Mario World to death. That's my jam.
I'm gonna say Super Mario World.
But to say that Ocarina of Time loses to any game is you better back this up really well, right? And I understand.
For me, it's the whole thing about Ocarina of Time, and I said this jokingly and within live yesterday. Ocarina of Time aged like mayonnaise. It was great at the time. Now not so much.
You know what? When you put it that way, and if you're talking about that, how well these games age, there's no contest. Super Mario World.
Yeah, because Super Mario World is still phenomenal. Yeah.
Super Mario World's still fun to this day. You pick it up and play it, and it's still enjoyable.
And it aged really well. These cartoony games, they age way better than the games first gen 3D.
Yoshi's Island is gorgeous.
Oh my god, that game is beautiful.
Right.
Yeah, such longevity with Super Mario World. It can still be played. And
okay, so that's what we decided. We decided.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to get some hate in this. But
That's
also,
fine.
it's going to be passionate hate and love.
It's gonna be a lot of hate. Like I said, for you to say that game, whatever, is better than Ocarina of Time, people are gonna their eyelids are gonna be twitching.
Yeah, because for such a long time, it was the best reviewed game of all time.
Yeah,
but
40 out of 40.
I'm sorry to tell you, internet, Ocarina of Time is
less than 10 games, right? They got a 40 out of 40 in Famitsu for the longest time.
Yeah, but I mean,
But then again, they gave 40 out of 40 to Nintendogs, so
if that game came out yesterday. And Super Mario World came out yesterday, Super Mario World would be Celeste.
Yeah.
And Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time would be some AA tier game. Okay, so moving on. Pikmin 2 versus Advance Wars.
Advance Wars, baby!
Yeah.
You know what? It hurts me personally, and I take this as personal offense by Intelligent Systems, that they went all in with Fire Emblem, and they completely ignored Advance Wars. I was hoping, dude. Okay, AJ, when I bought my 3DS,
I think it's mostly because Fire Emblem has more marketable characters.
Apparently,
so
that's very true.
So it's easier to
I suppose. I literally bought my 3DS because I was convinced that Advance Wars 3DS is going to be around the corner. I bought it and it never happened. So I love Advance Wars. I suck at it, but I love that game. I seriously love that game.
Advance Wars is cool. I like Advance Wars. I don't know if I like it more than Fire Emblem. I don't really have a strong opinion on that.
I definitely like it more than Fire Emblem.
Legend of Zelda, next bracket. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker versus Super Mario Bros.
I'm sorry, Bob. Wind Waker.
Wind Waker.
Tricky one. I'm going to go with Wind Waker.
Okay.
Super Mario
Sorry,
Brothers,
Bob,
like
I
it's
apologize.
Super Mario Brothers. There's nothing you need to say about it. But you know
Right.
what? If I want to play an 8-bit Mario, I go with Mario 3 every time. Super Mario Brothers is
Yeah.
not the one I revisit more often, right? So
Yeah, I'd much rather just go back to Wind Waker and just play that. It's just Xenoblade Chronicles versus Pokemon
Heart Gold and
what
Soul
was that?
Silver.
Heart Gold and Soul
Silver.
Silver.
Gold,
Heart Gold and
hands
Soul Silver.
down, son.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm playing
Easy.
that on my 3DS recently. And Heart Gold, like, there's a reason they said that Heart Gold.
That is the best. Remember I alluded to the best Pokemon
Yes.
game, not the newest one. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, best
It's
Pokemon game.
great. It's
Bar
great.
none. Period.
Yeah, great. Xenoblade Chronicles I played for like 3 hours. Not even, like maybe like 2 and put it down forever.
Oh my god. I played that game for maybe like 20. I played it on 3DS. Fun on that.
3DS.
But no, Heart Gold and Soul Silver, better game.
Yeah, definitely.
Fight me. Moving on. Super Metroid versus Donkey Kong Country 2.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah.
Diddy Kong's Quest.
That game, dude, talk about games that age so well. Like
Right.
I
David
think
Wise.
we're gonna
That
get
is-
hate for
David
that one.
Wise,
But
the
I agree.
composer of the game, is he's a genius. That game is amazing. Oh my god, Donkey
Yeah.
Kong
Right,
2. It's
right.
the kind of
That-
game that like my kids will play that game. You know what I mean? Like amazing.
Right.
People would argue that your kids should be playing Super Metroid too, but I mean I agree.
They might play both, but they'll play Donkey Kong Country 2 first.
Right.
Yeah, that game's a classic among the country games.
Oh my god!
Like, just
I
period.
say it's the best in the trilogy. I never got too much into the third one, and the first one is great, but the second one is just I love that.
Yeah,
game.
the second one's
Right, second
easily
one,
the best
yeah.
one. It's
Right.
easily.
Easily.
I don't know anybody that disagrees with that. So moving, I think people would disagree with the ultimate choice though. Not saying I disagree, but moving on. Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess versus Super Mario Bros. 3. Super Mario Bros.
3.
There you have it. Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay, moving on. Super Smash Bros. Melee versus Mario Kart 64.
Melee. Melee.
64. Mario
All
Kart
day.
64.
I'm gonna have to say Mario 64. Mario Kart 64.
What?
Yeah. Mario Kart
Wow.
64, like, I mean, again, if it's the thing of, like, if we have all these games in a vacuum, and it's like, hey, I want to play this game with this group of people, I'm not going to pick Melee. I would definitely
Really?
play
64 is more
Mario Kart.
fun. 64 is more fun,
Yeah.
I find. And you know what?
Whoa, wait,
more
wait,
accessible.
wait.
I find it more accessible.
I was gonna Izzy, you're void on this because you picked GoldenEye over Smash. You
guys have held that against me forever now.
That's
so,
true.
So from that perspective, I'm just like, I don't really. But yeah, Melee. I think. Oh man.
I just think, I mean, think about it this way. Like, ultimately, Melee is not the best Smash Brothers. To me, it's
True.
not.
True.
Which
Not-
one is the
not
best
even
one?
close.
Which one is
But-
the best one?
but-
I think Smash Brothers is another. It's one of those games that does get better each time.
Listen,
Because
I
I'm
think
not
the
a
newest
Smash Brothers
Brothers is the
connoisseur,
best
I
Smash
can't
Brothers.
comment on that. Which one is, in your opinion, which one is the best?
I think Super Smash Brothers for Wii U is the best Smash Brothers.
right. Me too. But as far as like Smash Bros. Melee has its own community in and of itself.
Yeah.
No, nobody's playing 64 like the 60. Like what? Like it's a good game.
I
It's a
mean
great game.
that's fine. But
It's-
are you still playing Mario Kart? I mean Super Smash Brothers?
No, but I'm saying what, like as far as like which one I'd rather play. I'd rather play.
But I think you
Mario
rather
Kart
play
Ryu
Smash
than over
I think you rather play any Smash over any Mario Kart.
True.
So
true.
that's
true.
And
You know
and again, I mean, I'm with you in that
Right.
regard. Like, I'd rather play Smash Brothers than Mario Kart, but I'm trying to remove myself from that. You know, like
Right.
I'm not trying to like straight. I'm
like,
thinking
like objectively, like
yeah, like as objective as I could possibly be about this. Which one is the better game, and which one, like in terms of like the grand scheme of things in their franchises, in games, and all that stuff. I think Mario 64 achieves what it's setting out to do better than, like, even if you think about Melee, how Melee fans think about Melee, they like Melee for being what Sakurai didn't want it to be. Like, Sakurai doesn't want you to be playing Smash Brothers piecemeal like that, you know? Like, he wants you to be playing with crazy items and all, you know? He doesn't want you, like, experimenting, trying to wave dash and all other crap. Like, that's why he completely, like, went the other way with that, with Brawl.
I'll take the outnumber here. So 64 will advance forward just because you guys both agree on that one. Yeah, Melee for me. But anyway,
Yoshi's Island
Yoshi's Island 2
Kid
versus Kid Icarus. Kid Icarus?
I don't know.
Uprising?
Do I even need to answer that?
I don't know. Did you play Kid Icarus Uprising? Did you like that game?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah.
What system is that game again on?
3DS.
3DS.
Do I even need to answer that?
No.
Ah,
So
fuck.
did you? Did
But-
you?
but you know what?
I'm trying to figure out if you
Yoshi
like the
Island,
game or not.
Yoshi Island is way better than Kid Icarus. I mean, come on. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong. It's a great game. It's great to see
don't know.
Pitt
I don't
again
know.
after like some 30 years that we haven't had a game with him as the protagonist. But it's just it's an on-rails shooter, right? Like it's
Yeah, that's fair, but I think the thing with Kid Icarus Uprising for me is I think of it more as like this multiplayer experience because that's the bulk of how I played it, and I think the multiplayer in that game is phenomenal.
Right, it is.
I'm not going to say I'm going to fight you necessarily on Yoshi's Island because that's why I'm conflicted because I can go either way.
Listen, Kid Icarus brought a character back from the jaws of obscurity and made him.
Yeah, but Yoshi's Island is the only hot take. Is the only place where Yoshi is relevant and matters. Everywhere else. Is like,
I wanted to object, but unfortunately he's right.
yeah, the Yoshi's Island is Yoshi's pinnacle.
It is.
So you know what? I'm going to give this to Yoshi. Yoshi's Island wins this.
Hey,
round.
but not just because of that. It's a great game. Come on.
It is a great game. I'm not saying it's not.
Right.
They're both great games. Is what I'm saying. For different reasons, because like you're looking at the on rail parts of it. I don't really care about single player of Kid Icarus. I kind of skipped over that for the most part. The multiplayer is what I like a lot. And as a Smash Brothers fan, it's kind of like, again, that's more of a bias thing because it kind of feels like a 3D Smash Brothers. But
All right,
moving on.
Super Mario World versus Advance Wars. What do you guys got?
Super
Yeah,
Mario
Super
World.
Super Mario World. That's
Yeah.
a trick one. I love both,
Rip
but
Advance Wars.
overall, Super Mario World takes it.
Okay,
All
Wind
right.
Waker versus Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Hard
Pokemon.
gold. Still
Pokemon.
hard gold.
Yeah, Pokemon. Good.
Pokemon.
Sorry, Zelda.
There's so many mechanics in that game, in those games, that I want them to bring to the new games. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Heart
so-
Gold. Like those are literally the Pokemon Dream games. The only thing that it doesn't have is like the MMO stuff, and then like the HD visual. Like that's the only thing that Heart Gold and Soul Silver don't have. It has multiple regions, as the Pokemon following you. It's like
No, the
so
fact that when you
deep into
beat
it.
the game, you go back to Kanto, right? Kanto is the first.
Yeah, that's why I said
Right,
multiple
that-
regions.
yeah, exactly.
It was such a like, especially when you consider that game came out on the Game Boy, right? So that little cartridge had essentially kind of like two games, and it
Exactly.
blew people's mind back. It was kind of like the inverted castle in Symphony of the Night. It was like, whoa, there's a
Right.
whole new game now. This is really cool.
Exactly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the game's phenomenal.
What do we got now? Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest versus Super Mario World 3.
Super Mario.
Super Mario
Mario.
Brothers 3, you mean?
Yeah, brothers.
Super Mario, yeah, sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, that is
That's hard.
that is a battle of titans right there. They're both phenomenal games. I'm going to.
I think
give the edge.
I'm going Mario.
You're
I gotta go with Mario.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Mario too.
Okay.
But they're both that is like by a hair.
Right. Out of all the games we picked, like as far as like these two were like really but sorry, I'm eating. If you guys can hear me too, I'm eating my dried cranberries. But yeah. Well, I can snack on the podcast viewers. I'm sorry. Yeah. So I gotta give it to that.
Okay,
So-
so Mario Kart 64 versus Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's
Aged
Island.
better overall, and it's just
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Kart being that
Yoshi's
it's a
Island.
multiplayer experience, unlimited replay value, right? But overall,
Yeah.
if I have to sit down, and that's the thing, that's gonna be the cincher, right? Like if I had to play with friends, I would go Mario 64. But overall, as a well-rounded game that I want to play by myself, it's definitely.
If I was to show somebody either one of these games, it'd be Yoshi's Island.
yeah, I agree.
Right. I don't even want to. Mario Kart 64 isn't even the best Mario Kart. I don't want to go back to it.
It's not, but I think Mario Kart 64 is the pinnacle of part of Mario Kart. It's definitely the best battle mode.
You think?
It definitely
I
has the
haven't.
best
Yeah, but I mean,
battle
I don't care about battle mode in general. I mean, but
that's
like I
you,
said,
like,
like I said, I'm a wrong person to get get at that with that. Like I'm just like, but so that's neither here nor there for me.
You know what's
That's
you
a
know what's
huge part of Mario
interesting?
Kart
Because
for a lot of people.
I only liked Battle on which is probably most people would say is like the worst Mario Kart, which is the original Mario Kart, and I only played Battle.
I think
on that one.
I think people would say the worst one is the Wii U battle mode.
No, worst
was-
Mario Kart title in general, right? Like
Oh,
SNES
yeah,
is probably
yeah,
the
yeah.
weakest one.
Yeah.
I think
Easily.
Double Dash is like one of the best, if not the best Mario Kart games.
No, I think the Mario Kart 8 is definitely the best Mario Kart.
8 Deluxe?
Mechanically, it's the best Mario Kart.
It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Mario Kart
It's a great
Mario
game.
Kart Double Dash is cool. You know, like I like the idea of like the double drivers and stuff like that, but it's too loose. It doesn't. Feel
I
as
haven't
good as
played that
Mario
game. Like
Kart
last time I
8.
played that game was at my ex's house some 10 years ago, so I remember very little I remember.
I just like how you can like swap. You have 2 items, you can swap them. You don't have to stick with the item.
That's
you
what I
have,
remember.
like, as
That's
far
what I
as,
remember.
you
The
get
drivers
2
and
and
items
then
switching and stuff.
right. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's
Like,
cool.
That's
But
just,
I
like,
think
cool
I think
mechanic.
as a, like racing and stuff like that, like everything about the controlling of the cart is significantly better in Mario Kart 8. Like significantly. Like most of the stuff that I like about Double Dash is like vanity stuff. It's like, oh, I have two characters. You know, it's like dumb stuff like that. I think the idea of that is cool, but I think dollars to donuts, Mario Kart 8 is a better game.
I think they still need to bring that back. By the way, like have a mode where it's like, okay, you can do that and then have that.
Yeah, I
'Cause
talked
like,
about
you know,
that in my Mario Kart video.
Right.
Plug. Okay, so where we at? Super Mario World versus
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Which
Pokemon
Pokemon?
Heart Gold.
Heart Gold,
Gold.
Soul Silver.
Oh man. Mario World versus Heart Gold. I'll tell you this. Heart Gold, and
That's
you
a
know
hard
why?
one.
Because the multiplayer element. Whereas Mario,
Yeah.
there's no multiplayer element, right? Like what you had is like you're passing the controller back and forth. That's not true multiplayer.
For me, it's hard because like my mind wants to say Pokemon. Like everything in me wants to say Pokemon.
You're gonna go Mario on this?
He said I'll be going against.
No,
my religion.
no. Let me finish. I'm trying to be considerate of the whole. You know, like the people that like everybody. You know, like to an extent. I don't want to be biased. Is basically
Try
what
not
I'm
to get
saying.
hated on, is what you're saying.
No, I don't care about that. I get hated
You
on.
don't get hit on regardless.
Yeah, I don't
matter
care
what.
about that. I just want to be as honest as possible to the whole of the conversation. But ultimately, I think I'm going with Pokemon with this.
I was gonna say, like, it's cool to like have you want to be objective as possible, but some just by virtue of the fact that like it's your own experience and it's some of that bias is gonna creep in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have to go with Heart Gold and Soul Silver as well.
Damn, we're going to. I'm sorry to us.
You know what the thing is? Ultimately, like they're both phenomenal games, and they're very different in what they're trying to do.
Right.
But ultimately, to me, what makes the difference is that Super Mario World, you can beat that game in like, even not going like not cheating, not going the Star Road route. You can beat
Right.
that game in like I think 2 hours. Like
Wait.
Super Mario World.
Sidebar. I'm sorry. Sidebar. For all the people in the comments that are going to say this, just because we pick a game over something else, we're not saying that game is horrible. We're not saying we hate that
all these
game. Or
games,
anything. You know,
all
it's
these
like,
games,
Thank you.
except for everything on 3DS, is phenomenal.
I thought you were gonna say
like-
GoldenEye.
No, that too.
You know
That,
what I
but that's
found out
not even
recently?
a game to me.
You know what I found out recently because of
GoldenEye.
Bob's videos.
GoldenEye
you can play
is like
GoldenEye with 2 controllers. Did you know that?
Yeah,
I didn't know
knew
that. I found that
Yeah,
out recently.
yep.
GoldenEye's a second-hand citizen.
It seems like that's going to be like it
It
seems
barely
like
exists.
that's the thing on the internet a lot. I've noticed like if you pick one thing over there, it's like you hate that thing, you hate it so
Yeah,
much.
I mean
No, we don't.
that's like the slogan, the unofficial slogan of our video of our channel. We hate every game that we want to improve.
Dude, it's incredible.
right.
Like, just a note on what you're saying. I recently did a video about the Game Boy Micro, right? Which is I didn't know this, but a lot of people didn't even know Nintendo made a Game Boy Micro.
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, a lot of people
That
did.
existed.
No, it didn't sell very well, right? And I made a video saying that, explaining the game, and it did really well on the channel. I realized that a lot of people are interested in picking that up nowadays. And then I mentioned that when I moved out of my parents' house, I was in this like minimalist headspace, and I wanted to just get rid of a bunch of stuff. And I just threw a bunch of stuff out, including my Game Boy Micro, right? And people were angry. Like in the video, I say like, "This was stupid. I shouldn't have done it. I regret it. I bought a new one, and still like I regret having thrown that out." People are saying like, "I'm gonna dislike the video because you threw the Game Boy." Like I'm laughing that I
right.
did it. Like I'm advocating that people throw theirs out. I'm just saying like I was dumb.
Like you're like me with 3DS.
Yeah, like if I was doing like what you were saying with the 3DS. But no, I'm just saying like I had
No, but I don't
think.
think people should throw
And you
away
have people
the
like,
3DS.
"Oh, you
They-
hate the Game Boy, right? You threw it out." I was like, no.
Right.
Yeah.
They pick one piece of the video and veto the rest of the video.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, at the
Yeah.
end, like they're like, okay, you say they said this, I'm hanging on to that thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Even if it's like
You know?
stupid, it's like, oh, you say like Bob with Mario, like you say Mario weird, you know? It's like that's the whole thing of the video, you know? Like he says Mario once and everything else is deleted.
Yeah,
exactly.
people are weird.
But
man.
yeah,
People are
we're
weird.
veering off course here. Where are we at?
What was the last one?
we just did Pokemon.
Yeah, hard goal.
So
Super Mario World versus
Super Mario World. You said Super Mario what 3?
Super
Mario 3
World
versus Yoshi's Island.
Yeah.
That's tricky. I'm gonna go 3 because of the variety of gameplay. There's a lot more power-ups that make the game more varied. Whereas Yoshi's Island, there's really no power-ups when you think about it. There's like the vehicles that you turn into, which is cool, but there are no power-ups when you think about it, right? Like there's the eggs change color and that's about it, which is kind of boring. Like
wait, do we have any Mario games in the finals? So far, like in the other bracket.
Yeah, we have Super Mario 64, right?
No.
No, it's Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers won that. Smash Brothers won that. Yeah. No.
Rip.
Smash Bros. Won that, and then we got Super Mario Bros. 3.
Okay, so we're going Yoshi's Island on this.
Yeah. So where we at now? We got
Yoshi's Island versus Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Ooh, man, it's getting harder and harder now.
I mean, for me, once I let go of the Pokemon thing, Yoshi's Island versus Pokemon is like, what? You know, like, I'd much rather play Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver than Yoshi's
I think
Island.
ultimately there's more to do in Heart Gold, so I'm going to go with Heart Gold.
Heart Gold.
I keep mentioning Heart Gold, but it's a placeholder for both in that of those remakes. I just say Heart Gold because it's the one I'm playing right now.
Okay, so, wait, that's the ultimate, that was the ultimate winner?
Yeah, so Pokemon won that bracket, I think.
So Pokemon Heart Gold versus Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild?
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, but it hurts me to say
Breath
it.
of the Wild.
It hurts me to say it, but it's Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm going to say Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's
okay. So the
you know, people are going to put your Pokemon, your alleged Pokemon fandom on blast after this, right? Like there's going to be
why that I didn't say Pokemon was the best game
you're
of all
passing
time?
on Pokemon a few times there.
I'm just trying to be real here, man. You know?
Right.
Like I'd rather be honest and less biased than to like grasp onto this meaningless like super fandom thing of like you gotta love everything that thing ever does, regardless. Like that's just dishonest.
Okay, so the first topic ran kind of long.
It did. So we gotta kind of speed through the rest of it.
Yeah, we gotta speed through the rest of this. Izzy, can you give our viewers a brief summary about as far as like who you are, what you do?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Izzy Nobre. I'm a YouTuber. I'm also a podcaster. I am a video game character. As it turns out, I wrote a book. I do a lot of stuff on the internet, right? And you can find me on my Brazilian channel, but you wouldn't understand anything. Or you can find me on my English YouTube channel.
We have some Brazilian viewers.
Oh, really? Okay, well, they might understand what I'm saying there. But if you look up the Izzy Nobre Show or just Izzy Nobre on YouTube, you'll find my channel. And I usually talk about gaming, particularly about retro gaming. And I cover a lot of news as well, but I see that gaming content seems to do better on my channel, so I'm slowly transitioning to cover more gaming in tech and less social events, especially because social events, like there's a lot of back and forth that isn't exactly positive when it comes to like giving opinions on social events with the political climate as it is right now, right? People are very opinionated, people are very they have some very strong points of view, and they sometimes lash out if you don't quite agree with them. So that's a space I'm transitioning out of because just for my own peace of mind, you know.
Right. Yeah, so very interesting, guys. Check out his channel. You said Izzy Nobre is the
link in the description. We'll link it in the description.
Yeah, just do that. Make everything easier. Make my life easier.
And all that good stuff.
Right on.
All right. So next topic. Sorry to have to rush you on that one, buddy.
So the reason why I pulled this topic for this video,
the YouTube versus YouTube community.
Yeah.
Wild hate.
Because Izzy did a video on the whole YouTube the shooting that happened at the YouTube headquarters. And a lot of like the discourse around YouTube prior to this and even after is like the whole like demonetization and like the like surfacing of videos and you know like that whole thing, like the videos aren't going to the sub box and all this stuff. And it's like people get so like toxic towards YouTube, and it's like they threaten things like this, you know, like and they're so like detached from like these are people that work at this company, not this like this monolithic like thing that's like not something that you can like attach yourself to,
right?
Or whatever. Like it's just this.
They're human beings, you know, and they try to remove that because like, oh, this is affecting me, you know, and I don't care about anything else,
right?
It's a very selfish outlook to have, and it's honestly like disgusting, you know.
It just became such like commonplace to just hate on YouTube. You seldom hear something positive about what YouTube has allowed us to do, right? As creators,
right?
Making new friends and things like that, and learning. I learned a lot of what I learned today comes through YouTube, right? But because there's been some problems in regards to how YouTube handles their creators, and it's understandable, right? Like, we know that YouTube was bought by literally billions of dollars, but they have always been, with every social media, it's hard to monetize, right? To monetize it efficiently, right? And I doubt that right now YouTube is really breaking even from the cost of like hosting all of these videos.
They're not.
They're not, right?
They're 100%.
Right.
So it's understandable that they're gonna have to juggle things around to try to keep this afloat, to try to make this viable. And at times, these changes are not conducive to creators. We get that there's a problem. They seem to be trying to work on that, but it's weird that the discourse is completely dominated by YouTube hate when there's so much.
The negativity is disgusting.
Right, yeah.
Seriously.
And it's like, ultimately, they're really on this, like, they're on our side, you know? Because, like, if we don't get monetized, they don't get monetized.
Yeah, that's true.
So so it's like, if they demonetize every video, like, seems to be like what people think is what's going on here, they don't get paid either. So it's like, and they think that they're more on the advertiser side than the creator side, but I mean, they kind of have to be, because like, if they're not on if the advertiser's not happy, then the creator's not going to get paid at all.
Right, if the advertisers pull out, everybody's screwed, you know?
Yeah.
And nobody will really be happy then.
Right. We have no site if we have no advertisers.
Right,
Because where's the
exactly.
money coming from? It's just like, and like, I mean, we're all guilty of like some degree of that, of like, my videos aren't in the sub box, and like, I understand that. And that is definitely a problem. I'm not saying it's not. What I am saying, though, is like, you gotta try to be more like measured about your response to that. Like,
Definitely.
I
Be more
like,
understanding. Yeah, exactly.
I kind of have like this whole thing where I have this thread of like and it hasn't happened in a long time, to YouTube's credit. Every time our videos get falsely demonetized, I have a thread of tweets of like, hey, at Team YouTube, this happened again, you know? And I mean, that's where it ends. It's like, hey, this is happening. It's kind of like this like passive aggressive thing or whatever.
Yeah,
It's not like
it
YouTube,
is.
I
It is
hate
very,
you and you need to.
It is very passive aggressive, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
contributes to this environment of negativity, right? So,
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
People take things too personal, but it's 2018, doesn't really surprise me. I made a video this week about sorry about the segues. Again, we're rushing. I can't really think of anything. Luigi's Mansion for the Switch. Thoughts on that, Izzy? What do you think?
I'm really happy to see these games from both like GameCube. Like, this is what I want to see more of: GameCube, Wii, and Wii U titles coming over to the Switch. I think ultimately there's going to be some kind of virtual console style solution to play all of these games. But while that doesn't come up, it's nice to see that they're porting them over, especially because like ultimately, ports will work better than just straight up emulation, right? Like trying to make it work with the controls at hand. If they just port it specifically for the system, it's just gonna look and play better than just like, you know, emulation through virtual console.
Yeah, and they can improve upon it.
Yeah, they
Right,
can improve upon
exactly.
it. Exactly. It's not just like, here's the game exactly as it was before. There's a lot of improvements, right? So I like to see that. I want to see more of that happening. There's a lot of games,
Right.
especially when we're talking about the Wii U, a system that unfortunately history will not look kindly upon it. It's good to see these titles making over to the Switch. So we're seeing that with Captain Toad, right? We saw it with a bunch of like, you know, with Breath of the Wild, with Mario Kart, and I want to see more of that. I want to play more Wii U titles on my Switch. So anything about like Nintendo's bringing this game from their previous catalog to the Switch, I'm gonna say I'm all for it. I'll buy it again if I bought it before.
Right.
So for this, I know we were kind of on a short timeline, so we couldn't be like, "Hey, watch all these videos." But Logan specifically was talking about like a new, like Luigi's
Mansion 3.
You're talking about a new title. I'm out of the loop. Have they announced they're making a new?
No, so
No, it's pure speculation.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing for us right now. It's like we're like, we know a lot of these games have been like in the ether somewhere of like Nintendo being like, hey, maybe this is going to happen. There's a rumor of like, hey, NX is going to launch with Luigi's Mansion 3, or Iwata for like my video last week. Iwata mentions that they're developing an Animal Crossing mobile game, and that's going to tie into their NX Animal Crossing game, you know. So it's like, oh, that's going to happen eventually. So it's like we make a lot of videos on
That's
stuff
the
like that.
Camp something, right? I heard about that. There's an Animal Crossing for mobile, Camp whatever.
Yeah, Pocket Camp.
Pocket Camp, yeah.
Right. But
So
yeah, as far as like Luigi's Mansion 3, do you have any experience with as far as like Luigi's Mansion, like the past games? Have you played Dark Moon?
I have Dark Moon, haven't played it yet. I have a huge back catalog to get.
how dare you?
I know, right? I know. I heard the multiplayer is great. I just haven't, because my
it's pretty
girlfriend and
fun.
I were playing New Leaf, and that's all I'm playing right now. New Leaf and
Is this the first time that you're playing New Leaf?
Yes, it is. It's the first time.
See,
I'm
this
playing
is
Animal
why.
Crossing
This is why you're still young and naive. It's fine. It's fine. You're still experiencing the 3DS. I've been through that. You know. I'm
so
trudged through that
wide-eyed
mud.
and like, oh, this game is great, and you're just jaded. You're just like
Exactly.
Right.
I've been in it. I've played these games a lot, like when they were released.
Let's just pull one of these comments, just like from each video. That way it kind of like speeds up the process. Let's see. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the first one. Sorry about that, James Possible. Maybe next time you'll get. I just want to shout you out, but next time, continue asking your questions, and I'm sure next time we'll have time for you.
We'll have ample time next time.
Right.
Next time we won't have a topic that is literally the
almost
biggest
the entire
topic
episode.
of not even just that, like the biggest topic in our niche. Like that whole thing of like it was going to take a lot of time.
Right. Yeah. So Bruce McFarling said, "We're just about a year into the Switch. If the game has a 3-year development cycle, they could have started back in June 2016, and all of the they're still working on it rumors would be totally true. But the game is not out until next year. It is possible that Luigi's Mansion flashlight teaser was just a reference to Luigi's Mansion for the GameCube, delayed parentheses for the Virtual Console. But I think it's more likely to be a teaser for Luigi's Mansion 3. Now I gotta ask, Bruce, do you think that's really more likely, or is that what you're hoping for? I'm not really sure. I like me personally. I hope it's a new game, but it makes sense that it because they're releasing the remake on the 3DS. It was
the original GameCube is coming out for the 3DS. Yeah.
Right.
It
So
took me forever to realize.
that.
It took me forever to realize that Dark Moon is an actual sequel and not just like a portable port of the original on the GameCube.
Yeah.
Sequel.
They promoted that weird because it's like I know in some regions it's called Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh, really? I didn't
Right.
know
And
that.
then like here it's not called that.
No.
It's
Right.
called Luigi's Mansion, just Dark Moon.
I think
It's kind of weird.
it's a good game, but I just think this is some of the aspects in it just
It doesn't
Anyway.
feel the same because
Right.
it's a 3DS game, so
Right.
it feels like a 3DS game, or it's
Right.
it's fun and everything, but it's not the same like weight of like here's this big console experience and like that whole thing.
All right. So on to AJ's video. AJ made a video about how Mario Tennis Ace should just be a starter of what we'll see later on with these Mario sports games, and I think that I completely agree with this because I definitely want to see more in terms of like you said, Mario football. I'm just mad you didn't mention the sport that everybody cares about. You didn't mention a Mario dodgeball, and I'm very upset about that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. You hate dodgeball. That's what it means. You didn't put it.
You know what?
I thought you were gonna say something stupid. I thought you were gonna be like, you didn't mention Mario Cricket. And
I
you know
was
what?
gonna say
The other thing
volleyball,
that I was
but
thinking
I was
about,
like,
Logan, I'm just waiting for one of these weeks where you're like talking about my video, and instead of being like, I agree, I want you to say I hated everything about it. I think you're stupid.
No, well, I mean, unfortunately, to that point, a lot of the videos you make they're sound. It's like there's
Unfortunately, you're sound.
Unfortunately, sadly, trust me, I want to disagree so bad. No, but as far as this goes, it's just what I want to see. Genuinely, and yeah, more sports, we can all benefit from that.
So what do you think, Izzy?
So when it comes to titles, you're talking about like Mario Dodgeball and stuff like that. One thing I've always wanted to see, but hasn't happened and maybe never will, is a Mario themed, like a Mushroom Kingdom themed real-time strategy game, where you harvest some resources and you create little units and you send them to battle, like the Mushroom Kingdom forces versus like Bowser's like minions and stuff like that. This is something I've always wanted to see. And when the Wii U came out because of the touchscreen, I was like, I wonder if now they're gonna do something like that. The closest thing we've ever seen to anything like this is a game that I think AJ hates. It's Mario and Rabbids.
Mario.
That's not
Mario
like
See, it's funny because
that's not a bad game.
I don't think it's a bad game. I never said
you
it was
don't
a
like
bad
the
game.
theme of it.
I don't like the theming, and that's the whole thing of it's like if I'm not gonna like. I don't care if the restaurant that I'm going to is has the best food in the world. If it stinks, I don't want to go there. Like that whole thing. It's like the game could be fun, but if everything I'm looking at I hate, I don't want to play it. I acknowledge that what people like about those games are valid, but I just don't like the Rabbids, and I don't think that it's a good matchup for what Mario
They're like
is.
minions before minions.
Right.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were. And I think what was it? You and Bob were like, yeah, Rayman.
Yeah,
I'm
me
like,
and
Rayman's-
Bob. That's like our internet. Like that's our cross that we'll bear.
Yeah.
That's the hill we'll die on.
Yeah, I'm pretty much Rayman's dead. And the rabbits buried them. Like they killed him and just chopped his head off and freaking put him in the mud. Like okay, this is our thing now. Because like at the end they're just more marketable. But that's just that's a whole different thing. And then one of these comments here. I think I'll just go with the first one. Gilberto. Well, let me shout out Benedict Boda 41. Oh no, freaking Benedict Boda. Once again, as I said to the other guy, just keep commenting and we'll see your.
They know
comment next
we'll
time.
read your comments eventually when we have less time constraints.
Yeah, Gilberto Caldera. I don't know if I'm saying that last name right. They say I don't play a lot of the sports games. Me too. I play Wii Sports, Sonic and Mario Olympic games, and a little of Mario Tennis.
Wait, he's playing
but
Wii
I really
Sports
like what
in 2018? Props to him.
Yeah. I like what I saw on this Mario Tennis, but I have so many games I want to play when I get my Switch that I'll probably forget about this game. You shouldn't. This game is going to be freaking incredible. But I know that a soccer Mario game would really do well here in Brazil. But Nintendo is not as giant as Sony here. So some sports games would just make a lot of people would jump into the console here.
By the way, real quick, just to represent the homeboy, now that I realize that he's from Brazil, I was going to correct your pronunciation of his name, but I wasn't sure if he was from Brazil, so maybe that was... it's pronounced Gilberto.
Oh, Gilberto.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
I got to represent, because if he knows there's a Brazilian here, and then I didn't say anything, he's gonna be like, what the fuck is he?
See, it's funny because I did mention that we do have.
Yeah, you did, and there you go.
Right.
There we go.
Yeah, I think Gilberto. That's cool. Man,
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I think that you shouldn't. I understand like there's so many different games coming out for the Switch. And by the time, like you said, but this game is gonna be so. It's just like I've never seen a Mario. Like they really took it to heart. the travesty that was Ultra Smash or that was Tennis, whatever the Wii U game was. Yeah. They're like, you know what? Let's come back with something phenomenal. And
let's make a good game. That's soul.
This is gonna be like this is great. Like this isn't even just good. It's gonna be like incredible.
Yeah, I just mean like in comparison to Ultra Smash.
Oh yeah,
Ultra Smash was just like I mean it wasn't terrible or anything like that, but it was soulless. There was nothing special about it.
Let's make a top spin by Mario playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Yeah, freaking more sports games for the Switch. I'm all for it. More sports games because Mario always adds a nice twist to sports games that I wouldn't normally play or try out.
Give me Mario Ultimate Frisbee.
That'd be fun. That'd be a cool like additive thing though, like a cool like collection of games and have that as being one.
No, just give me Ultimate Frisbee.
What's a sport like you mentioned Mario handball? What's another sport that we haven't seen a Mario version?
How dare you? How dare you?
Hey, I used to play at a dodgeball league. I'm not dissing.
Mario.
I thought you were talking about football.
No. Dodgeball, like you mentioned dodgeball, right? Like it's a game that Mario never played. Like there's never.
I just never heard of dodgeball referred to like that.
Wait, what did I say?
You said handball.
Oh no, handball is a different kind of game. Handball is a different. I thought that's what you guys had said.
No, he said dodgeball.
No, I just misspoke. I was thinking dodgeball. For some reason, I said handball. Handball is an actual sport, but it's an actual sport though. It's an actual sport. Handball.
Oh, okay.
It's like it's very much like soccer, but with your hand. You guys. I guess it's not very popular in North America, but it's pretty big in Brazil. Handball, check it out.
After this podcast, I'll check it out. I'll feel like I'm getting more cultured after this episode.
I know it sounds kind of silly. Handball.
No. I'm freaking.
I thought that was just like a football dig. I thought that's what that was.
No, I get no, but I would have said hand egg in that case.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think the real sport people want to see, and I think everybody can agree with me.
Lacrosse.
Mario volleyball. That'd be awesome. Everybody wants to see that. It's a thing that everybody wants to play. See Mario volleyball. Everybody.
Yeah, there's a comment about that, and because
really?
Level 5 games. Yeah, Level 5 games. No, Level 5 Games was working on a game like that. They were working on a volleyball game. Oh, wow. And it was kind of like you played Mario Strikers. It's kind of like the Mario Strikers version of volleyball. Like that. That's what that game
That would be a lot of fun, actually. There was a game on the SNES that I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with. It's called Hyper V-Ball. Remember, it was a volleyball
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you had you could play like as humans and you could play as robots. And if you play with the robots, there's a bunch of like power-ups and like special like moves and stuff like that. That would work
Yeah.
really well in Mario
Yeah.
form. Oh man, now I kind of want to see that. Is there any rumors at least?
They canceled it. I don't know if they're working on it. I don't know if they picked it back up, but I don't think there's any movement with that.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. PAX East, you went to it, AJ.
Yes, I did.
So
And both of you guys should have went, but you didn't because you're
Didn't.
stupid.
I'm broke.
I
I'm
did
broke,
not.
son.
No, you're going to VidCon.
Yeah. Work.
But, okay, we're moving on.
yeah, but
So PAX East. For the most part with PAX East, it was like I played some stuff. A lot of it was like indie stuff that I could have played anyway. Like I could have just had them send the code. Like I played a lot of like Lightfall, which that's a really interesting. It's kind of like Celeste.
okay.
That's kind of how Bob pitched it to me when he was like, "Hey, we got this appointment for this game." I'm like, all right, but what is it though? He's like, "Oh, it's like Celeste." I'm like, "All right, sold." It's a cool game. There's really cool like mechanics in it. Like there's this like light box that you can like use to help you traverse through like different platforming segments. Like when you double jump, the box appears under you and you have up to 4 of them before touching the ground, so you have to kind of like divvy those up to like get to where you need to go. And there's other mechanics that you're introduced to as you play. It's a cool game. It's Celeste, but with that added wrinkle to it. I hung out with Bob. We went to 5 Napkins Burgers. They didn't even have napkins. It was blasphemous.
Really?
Yeah, there was this place called 5 Napkins Burgers, and they didn't have napkins.
That's like having
It
a
was-
breakfast place and not having French toast.
And then, like, there was a menu, right? And Bob's, like, really on me about food. He's like, oh, you need to eat weird stuff. And I'm like, all right, whatever. So we went to the 5 Napkins Burgers place. And then I ordered, like, a buffalo chicken sandwich or something like that. He was like, see, you went to a burger place and didn't order a burger. And I was like, no, I did order a burger because it was in the burger section. They had their they had their menu segmented into burgers and not burgers. And buffalo chicken sandwich, for whatever reason, is classified as a burger. It's like, you know what? That's what I'm going to get.
Buffalo chicken is just, it's always a good choice. So you
We
made a good
also
choice.
went. We also went to Acer Party, and that was fun. People stepped on my feet a lot. That wasn't fun. We played Cuphead. We played The Witcher. It was a great time.
Are people still playing Cuphead?
Also,
I
Bob-
thought everybody kind of like Cuphead was like made huge waves, and then
It was just at the.
everybody,
It was just at the party.
Oh, okay. No, because I haven't heard.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anybody saying Cuphead in months.
They had like these super specced out PC. It was like this $9,000 laptop, and they had Cuphead on it. Or no, those were on the desktop. They were probably even more ridiculous.
If you can like get past the frustration, Cuphead's a great game to play. Like,
Yeah, Cuphead is awesome.
Right.
What was the other thing that we did at the? There was something else that happened at the party, but I don't remember. But yeah, it was fun. We had a good time. Oh, Bob played. We had an appointment with Suda51, and we went to go play Travis Strikes Again. I mean, the game's fine. And we could have asked Suda51 questions, but we're not like huge Suda51 fans. So like when he was like, "Oh, do you have any questions?" Bob's like, "Nah." You know, it's like we shook his hand and left. It's like, I feel like that's blasphemous. Like that's like almost like somebody having an interview with like Miyamoto and be like, "I don't have anything to ask you," and walking away. But I mean, we didn't have anything to ask him. So that happened.
Looking at that game, it's like it was one of the, it's like it looks cool. It looks cool, but it wasn't to me. I'm like
I
chopping
think
it a
that
bit.
game is $60, and after seeing Bob play through it and stuff like that, it does not look like it should be $60.
Fellas,
but,
Right, it just looks like a it was like a beat 'em up or something like that. Something
It's like a mixture of different like mini games almost.
yeah. I don't know.
It doesn't look like it should be.
All right,
$60.
so yeah, so that was basically anything else happen?
No, nothing. I mean, not that much happened beyond that. It was just the biggest part for me, and the main reason why I went to PAX was not to play games because I know most of the games that were there, we could get access to anyway. It was mainly just a like networking thing, like hang out with Bob and stuff like that. And I did that.
That's cool.
So that was the main experience for me with PAX.
Yeah, spreading the word of Fanatix Four, like going door to door and like, have you heard the word of Fanatix Four? Anyway, on to the Q&A for this week. We pretty much answered Silver's question on that. Did you try any new cool games, demos at PAX East? If so, which ones were most notable to you, and would you be excited for the completion?
Coolest thing was Lightfall. I saw a lot of Wolfenstein gameplay, but I didn't play it because I didn't want to wait in the line. And I had to leave before Bob's, like, we had an appointment to go to Bethesda and play it, but I had to leave before then. Apparently that's really good because it made James, Bob's friend, go to buy a Switch. Like, he bought, he bought it after playing that, which is strange.
Everyone should have a Switch.
But yeah, it was good. There's good games.
Iron Thorn Discord to ask, what franchise do you hope to see the most at E3?
Pokemon.
Series. I'm gonna go Smash. I want to see more Smash stuff.
Link's comment.
Yeah. He said, I saw a video by RGT85 about why you should buy a Wii U in 2018. His main point was that he believed the system will soon become a valuable collector's item along with the games and releases on it. Do you guys think it's worth my money?
No. I don't think it's gonna. I mean, it might be like in like 50 years,
like 20 years.
You know, like it might be worth something then if you have like a boxed Wii U or something. But I don't think it's worth. Like, everybody thought that Devil's Third was going to be like this crazy collector's item. Now you can get it for like $20. So it's like, and that game was like, at one point it was like $120 to buy that game.
Mm-hmm.
And even now it lost value. I think that a lot of games on Wii U are going to lose value because they're also on Switch. Like, if you look at something like Dragon Ball Z Tenkaichi 3, right? Like, that's relatively rare in the grand scheme of things on PlayStation 2. Or is it the Wii U version that's more rare? It's one of those versions that's more rare than the other.
I think it's the Wii version, but yeah, go on.
But in the grand scheme of things, like, even that game, it's like, at most you'll get $100, maybe? So I don't think it's like this huge, like, it's not like investing in stocks and you'll become a millionaire one day. Like, it might be like a 1.5 markup or something. And I don't know if that's really worth that. But I don't know if you could find it for super cheap and in box. If that's what you're looking to do is collect it, then I would do that. Like under $200 in box is what I would say. Yeah.
All right. So on to the next. That was it.
So I don't know how we're going to transition to this, but Izzy had to leave early, so he cut out before Q&A. That's why you didn't hear his input on that. But I want to thank Izzy for being on the podcast. It was great. Yeah,
it was great having him. I want to do more stuff with him in the future, more videos, more collaborations, stuff like that. Yeah, he was cool. Great guest, funny. His whole 3DS.
Yeah, the whole 3DS hang. I mean, I'm telling you, it's a rivalry. We're gonna, like, I don't know. Once we hit like 1 million subscribers or something like that, we gotta have like a boxing match between me and him with 3DS. Like, I have like Switch boxing gloves or something. He has 3DS ones.
Right.
We'll see who wins.
All right, guys. As always, thanks for listening. If you have heard the whole way through, and if you have not listened the whole way through, AJ, what should they do? You gotta start thinking about these beforehand.
I do. Nah. Okay, if I want to keep these food themed, chicken and waffles is surprisingly good with syrup. It's strange. It sounds weird, but it's good.
I believe it. You put two great things together with a great freaking the condiment like syrup, and then it's just amazing. That's all the time we have, guys. But thank you guys so much. It's been episode 15 of Directly to You, and bye.
Goodbye.